Good morning, everyone. Better. Good morning. I am Principal Gardner. Welcome to Baychester Academy. Every school year, we get together as a community to create a new theme. A theme that would guide us, ground us, and get us through the good times and the bad times. This school year, our theme is It's Grow Time. It symbolizes that our children are seeds. That's right. And that it's on all of us, teachers, parents, principals, superintendents, elected officials, mayor, to water and nurture these seeds. That's right. Today, with the Save for College program, that's what we're doing. We're watering the seeds. We are giving parents peace of mind, lifting the burden, and leveling the playing field for all. This program is about equity, ensuring that our students have a fair shot to grow. I'm so proud to be making this announcement here at our school today, Baychester Academy, and to have our mayor lead this initiative for us, help us to guide us there to where we need to go. And now, Mr. Mayor, it's your turn to speak.
Thank you. That, you could tell you're a principal. You don't even have to say it, you know. And you could walk into school and see the energy that you bring to the school. You know, it's not just about academics. It's about, you know, just the emotional intelligence of being educated. Children can tell if you authentically care for them. You know, when I sat down at that table to speak with those scholars, if they didn't feel that I cared for them, they would not have communicated back to me. And as we walked into school, watching the children interact with their principal, she has clearly created an environment of wellness in this school. And she's concerned about these scholars to take them to the next level. And this is an amazing assembly of people here that really believe in this program and the coming together of New Yorkers to support our principals, support our teachers, support our students. And the creativity of this program really personifies what we want to do in this city. The hub of our future, it lies in our schools. And we have traditionally turned it over just to the principals and this faculty. But we're saying now the entire community must wrap ourselves around our schools and give the support that's needed. So when you have the Gray family who's here, you know, donating and being thoughtful on this program, starting to seed it, Julie Menon with her amazing idea that thought about this entire concept, and Bishop Taylor out in Queens. He shared this with me when I was out in Queens on the campaign trail, and just the energy, out in Queensbridge and Ravenwood, a community that historically is not known for producing young people who are going to college on a regular. This is just how we all come together. And then look at this lineup of electeds that we have here. Assemblyman Benedetto, who is the chair of education, dedicated, committed to get this done. Senator Bailey, who's here as well, you know, one of the leading voices in the Senate. You can't get Vanessa Gibson, the borough president, to stop talking about education. You know, when you think about it, as I stated, Councilwomen minute. And just to really steal all of our light, Councilman Riley brought his beautiful daughter, it was her birthday, you know, right under Daddy. I was like this under Mommy all the time, you know. But this is what it's about. This is community coming together, all of us coming together and laser focus on our children. And why is this important? Research shows that children with a college savings account are 3 times more likely to go to college and 4 times more likely to graduate. Just a savings account. And this creative way of not only will the parent open the account, we saw how easy it is, but now when you're around your family and friends, you can, as you meet them, just give them a code. We're going to make this first seed investment. Then we're going to water it every birthday. We're going to water it every time a child gets a new teeth. You know, we're going to water it every time a child gets a good grade in school or try hard. We're going to bring our churches together like Bishop Taylor did and say that, listen, this month we're going to pick each child and we're going to donate into their savings account. And then you just keep adding, and it's unbelievable what the dollar amount is. I knew nothing about a college savings account as a child. And no one helped Mommy in saying, you know, we can save for college. And to be honest with you, we never even thought about college. College was so far off our radar. But now we are telling these young scholars that you are expected to go to college or a trade school, a vocational school, going into a place that you will continue to expand your learning. This is a great moment for our city as we expand this amazing program with this amazing team that has been assembled here together. And so I say thank you, and I want to just thank everyone who's here, particularly Principal Gardner, for her energy. And, you know, you are, you know, just a symbol of the great educators we have throughout the city. And, you know, I was going to bring a vegan cake for Brooke, you know, for her birthday, you know. But, and it's really great to be here to celebrate this citywide expansion of the New York City Kids RISE Save for College program and the first ever New York City Scholarship Month, focusing on college, focusing on that, laser focus. And, you know, when you're in kindergarten, you believe college is never going to come. It's a long way off. That's the joy of long-term savings. You don't have to do it all at once. You can continue to lay it out. So today, this year, and every year going forward, the city is putting $100 into our college savings account for every New York City public school, kindergarten, in partnership with New York City Kids RISE. That's a total of $6.5 million in 65,300 scholarship accounts this year. Unbelievable when you really think about it. And we're going to keep doing this for our kindergarten students year after year. In the same way that we are helping our kids save for college, the city is also saving for its future. All this turmoil that's going on is overshadowing how well we are doing as a city. We are doing so well as a city as we grapple with some real issues, COVID and crime, yes, but don't lose sight of what we are doing successful with our partnership in Albany, the city council, and all of our borough presidents. Thanks to this administration and our partners, our strong financial management, Fitch Ratings just upgrade our city's outlook from stable to positive for the first time in more than a decade. More than a decade. Now, what this means is that the index that indicates how well we're doing financially as a city just stated this administration and the administration of these electeds who are here, we are doing so well that those who determine if we are risk or not and investing, they're saying this city is moving in the right directions, taking the right action, and we're going from just being stable to positive.
Yes.
All right.
Think about that.
All right.
5 months in, and we got to win. So it's about long-term smart decisions that we're doing today. We want to invest in the future of New York and New Yorkers. And we especially want to help those families that are in need. The pandemic showed us how large the wealth gap is and how equity needs to be front and center, something that these electeds say over and over again. This college saving program is a practical way to improve and narrow the gap in wealth. And at the same time, we're helping children understand the power of investing, the power of saving. Now, all of these special occasions should start with a donation for your children. They stop your baby on the street and say how cute they may be. Say, yes, they are. Now, I want you to make a donation. I use this cleaners every month. I need you to donate to my college fund. I get my hair done, my pedicure, my manicure. Every month I'm here with you. I need you to donate into my fund. Everyone needs to donate into your child's fund. Walk around with the code. Constantly tell everyone, I need you to donate into my fund. Hey, boss, you like me? I've been a great worker. Donate into my child's fund. That's how we do it, and that's how it grows. And it doesn't matter how small. You know, John, when you tell them it doesn't matter how small it is, it continues to compound and add up. You are going to be amazed how it grows. You know, just $1 or two is going to continue to grow. And so in 10 years' time, you will have a pot to help fund your child's dreams of education after high school. This is how we uplift our children. This is how we save for college. And this is a milestone program. It's the results of collaboration between parents, local leaders, schools, and businesses in District 30 in Queens, Bishop Taylor and his entire crew. People like, as I stated, Julie Menon and the team at New York City Kids RISE, and I think you are on the board. You know that? Boy, you got so much going on. John and Mindy, I just cannot say enough about the two of you. You know, just they are so committed to the city and children. And for them to just see this program in the beginning, when I first sat down and we had dinner together and just hearing about this, I'm just blown away. When people, sometimes we give affluent New Yorkers this negative rap. But do you know 52% of our taxes are paid by 2% of New Yorkers? If we didn't have the John and Mindy Grays in this city, we're not going to have the teachers in our schools, the firefighters putting out fires, the police officers protecting our streets. Our high-income earners like them that understand they have a social obligation to give back is what is part of the financial ecosystem of our city. And so, John, you and your lovely wife, is what makes New Yorkers great. And I thank you for your contribution. We're going to do this. Where we are is not who we are. Where we are is not who we are. We may be in dark places right now. But those dark places, as Mommy used to say, they're not burials. They're plantings. And today's contribution is going to produce the harvest that we expect for our children. It's a great day for New York. Thank you very much.
Now, let's welcome Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Principal Gardner, and this is an incredibly joyous day. I want to give a shout out to the orchestra that serenaded us as we came in, and all of the beautiful greeters with all of their energy and enthusiasm, and the coloring table that took the mayor to task about his choice of colors. It was very interesting watching you color. I think mostly you color outside the line, but you were being good today. But this is a great day. I am Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, and I was introduced to New York City Kids RISE by Julie Menon, who recruited me to join the board several years ago. And I'm so excited that this is a perfect example of public-private partnerships. The Gray Foundation, John and Mindy, mostly Mindy, John, to tell you, Mindy doesn't get enough credit for the put our heart and soul in this. With Dana Zucker, they invested in a concept, an idea. They innovated with Bishop Taylor in the community, with the brilliance of Deborah Ellen, and really, and created a model and said, this works. This can have tremendous impact. Then took it to the city of New York to scale. That's exactly what we want and need with our philanthropic partners. You all have set the bar high, and you've shown us how it can be done. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. And I also want to just acknowledge the team at the City of New York who have worked so hard to make this happen. Mariano Guzman, who's also was on the board for many years. Commissioner Sadea Sherman, who is our Mayor's Office of Equity Commissioner, and all of the people who have made this possible, as well as all of the staff at New York City Kids RISE that work so hard. So acknowledging you. I do just want to say one more thing about this program. I needed the 529 program to send my children to college. College, we know the expenses are just astronomical. And to be able to do this for every single New York City public school child is tremendous. It is a revelation. It is extremely important. And this is what Mayor Adams talks about when he says invest upstream. This is one of the best investments, most significant investments, and almost as far upstream as you can get. And it will reap tremendous, tremendous, tremendous benefits for generations. This is a generational blessing. And so I am very grateful for that. I'm grateful to be a part of that. I'm grateful to be a part of an administration that sees that we have to scale what works and really to get the city for the long term where we need it to be. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for your hard work, and I'm so proud and pleased to be a part of it. Thank you.
Next up, we have New York City RISE Director, Deborah Ellen Glickstein.
Thank you, Principal Gardner. Thank you, Mayor Adams, Deputy Mayor Wright, and really all the families, school staff, community leaders, government and elected officials that have gathered here today to celebrate the first ever New York City Scholarship Month. You know, this is truly a historic moment, as the mayor and the deputy mayor have shared, and I also am so proud to be a part of it. It is a moment really that honors just so much. Not only, you know, it's the first time that kindergartners across this entire city have an opportunity to plug into what we like to call a universal community-driven wealth-building platform. So this platform was built, as you've heard, over the course of many years, the greater part of a decade, across communities of School District 30 in Queens, which include Long Island City, Sunnyside, Woodside, East Elmhurst, Corona, and Jackson Heights. And let me be clear, as others before me have as well, this was created by so many people, schools, and organizations across these neighborhoods and across each of our sectors. Underlying this work has been this question: what would it look like if we each took responsibility for all of our children? So to answer that question, this platform was designed as a tool. a tool that schools can use and integrate as a core component of their day-to-day operations and customize to meet the needs and desires of their school communities in preparing their students for higher education. A tool that parents and guardians can use to save in the ways that make sense for them and their financial circumstances, starting with these building blocks, and or to support other families and students in their community or across the city. A tool that communities, community-based organizations, civic and cultural organizations, businesses, individuals can use in the ways that also are aligned with their goals. A tool that is adaptable and honors the work that is already happening in a community, because we know that the work that Principal Gardner, not on my watch, Councilmember Riley are doing in Baychester is going to look different than the work that Principal Jagan, Urban Upbound, and Jacob Reese have been doing in Long Island City. But each is part of an ecosystem that impacts a child's chance of success, and each is working towards our broader collective objective of making sure that all of our children have the opportunity to reach their dreams and highest potential. So our goals are to build significant financial assets with and for participating families and communities, and to ensure that the students are getting reinforced expectations of success from every part of their lives and neighborhoods that impacts their life chances. So this moment, when over 65,000 kindergarten families can activate their New York City Scholarship Accounts for the very first time, it is truly just the beginning. We can't wait to see how everyone in this room and beyond is going to plug in, participate, and contribute. So thank you again, Mayor Adams and Chancellor Banks, for your continued support and your vision of this platform. Thank you again, Deputy Mayor Wright, for being such a champion and for New York City children and families and across all of our neighborhoods. Thank you, Commissioner Sadia Sherman, for your leadership. And now from the new Mayor's Office of Equity, we would not be here without you. Thank you, Superintendent Vaughn, Principal Gardner, to your staff, the Baychester Academy community for helping kick off this amazing Scholarship Month event, and really for all that comes next. To Councilmember Julie Menon, who tenaciously helped launch this platform and served as our founding board chair. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of this story from the very beginning, especially the leaders across School District 30 communities, a few who are here today. Claudia Koger, the former president of the Astoria Houses Resident Association, Bishop Mitchell Taylor. We would not be here without you guys. And then to the incredible team at NYC Kids RISE, and especially shout out to my partners, Maria Bellis and Layla Bozarg. This takes a lot, and we have really the best. All of the collaborators that work with us day to day, including from the Department of Education, the Office of Economic Opportunity, the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, and the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. And finally, a huge thank you to John and Mindy Gray of the Gray Foundation, as well as the Gray Foundation's Executive Director and our board chair, Dana Zucker, for supporting this idea from the earliest days and sticking with it and continuing to stick with it and stick with it. None of this would have been possible without any of you. And again, we're so excited about what comes next. Thank you.
We'll now welcome John and Mindy Gray.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Principal Gardner. We are very excited to be here for the first ever Citywide New York City Scholarship Month here at Baychester Academy. The expansion, as you've heard, of this program is really the realization of a dream that started 8 years ago in 2014. It started with a simple meeting with Julie Menon. She came to my office as the Commissioner of Consumer Affairs and had a number of ideas for public-private partnerships. And I really latched onto this idea of children's savings accounts. I love the thought of financial literacy that came with it, the savings component, the 529 piece. As an investor, thinking about families investing in the markets and getting the benefit of compounding was very compelling. But the most compelling fact was the one the mayor pointed to, which was this idea that kids who had savings accounts were 3 times more likely to go to college, 4 times more likely to graduate. And I remember going home that night, talking with Mindy, and we had this enormous enthusiasm. It was like a light bulb went out, like we should do this. And we talked with Dana Zucker, who runs our foundation and does a miraculous job. And we worked with Julie and the city and the Department of Education. The only thing we underestimated was how long and hard this would be. And those of you who work in the public sector understand that these things are complicated. But we were very fortunate to find Deborah Ellen, who is a force of nature for everybody who knows. She just would not say no. We started at District 30. We launched in 2017. Ultimately, virtually now all the kids there have children's savings account. The community joined in, thank you so much. And this really became a community partnership, inclusive, very much in line with what the mayor was describing. And so the idea that we've been able to bring this forward is so promising to us. We have 4 daughters ourselves. They've had many opportunities, and to us, it's a shame that not every kid in New York City has those same kind of opportunities. So being able to share some of that's really important. We're proud to say one of our daughters today is a New York City public school teacher. I'm very happy to say that. But now the real work begins, rolling this out to 60... Continues. Yeah. 65,000 kids, as you've heard, will get the benefit of this. We couldn't feel better about it, having invested at this point more than $17 million in this project to get to this point. I would say I'm not sure there's anything we've done that's had a higher return on investment. And so, yeah, so we are truly excited about this, and to partner with this extraordinary mayor, who has just been such a force of nature, so unifying, wanting to bring us all together to try to work together to help our most important asset, which is the children of New York City. And so he started actually in his campaign, he embraced this. He's been an incredible partner in so many ways. Obviously, Sheena, incredible, having been part of this since really early days. Chancellor Banks, Commissioner Sherman, Commissioner Verduga. We can't thank everybody enough who's pushed on this. We think about this as a very special program for New York City and its families, and a very special day for us. We are so excited. We want to just say thank you to everyone here. It's so exciting. Thank you so much.
Now let's watch those seeds bloom, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you go ahead.
I'm so proud to now introduce you to Precious Owusu, one of our parents. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Precious Obengade, also known as Jacob and Nathaniel's mommy. I'm originally from Ghana in West Africa, but I've lived in the Bronx for over 20 years, and I've been part of Baychester for about 6 years now. Today, just like many families here, I opened my son's account and saw his name, and it was such an amazing feeling. And I'm so glad that I was able to do this with my Baychester families who were here this morning. I think the best part about this is that we're doing this together for our children, and that's the amazing part about this. So this morning, I definitely want to encourage my families here and across the city. We have to do this. This is a wonderful opportunity, especially for our Black and brown families. This gives us a chance to have our kids be there and level the playing field for our kids. And most important, I think you've all heard, it takes a village. And this program speaks to that. We have the support of the city and the community to put our kids out there. So I encourage everyone today, this is the right step. Take that chance, open your account, see your child's name there, and start to work towards it. As a parent, you want the best for your child, and I think this is right on top of the list. So again, all our families, I'm urging that we take this opportunity, and again, we're doing it together as families, community, and it's a great opportunity. So thank you to the mayor, to the city, our very own Principal Gardner, NYC Kids RISE, for sending out this message about planning for our kids' future. So thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and let's do it together. Let's welcome Council Member Julie Menning. All right.
Thank you so much. I cannot tell you, Mr. Mayor, how excited I am. You can probably tell from my reaction. I'm the mother of 4, and I always joke that this project was like my 5th child because birthing it was quite a process. I'm so thrilled to be here today. This project is truly transformative. Back in 2014, when I was commissioner of the Department of Consumer Affairs, as you heard, I met with John Gray, and I really want to thank Mindy and John for their incredible leadership in funding this. The idea really was transformative. I had met with the controller of San Francisco at the time. San Francisco had launched a project to seed every kindergartner with $50. We're in New York City. We want to do it bigger and better, and we did. Instead of just giving government money, we were able, through the private sector, to really fund these 529 so that the money would grow over time. We also were able to do what no one else really had been able to do, which was also make sure that undocumented children had a 529. This literally took us years to figure out. And it is revolutionary. So I'm so excited about this. I really want to thank Deborah Ellen Glickstein. I had hired Deborah Ellen to run the Office of Financial Empowerment. She was a star then, and she's been a rock star with this project. And I really want to thank Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. As you heard, I asked her to join the board of Kids RISE 4 years ago, and right away she got it and was committed to it. And lastly, I want to thank the mayor, of course, and I want to thank my colleagues in government. Particularly Senator Jamal Bailey, who we talked about a year ago about this project. He's deeply committed to it. Thank you, Assembly Member. Thank you, Borough President Gibson. And I want to thank my colleague, Councilmember Kevin Riley, who totally gets this, and I know together we're going to be able to take this to the next phase. Thank you so much.
And now, our Borough President, Vanessa Gibson.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. What an honor to be here at Baychester Academy, to Principal Gardner, to our superintendent, and to each and every one of you. What a great day. What a great day for the children of New York City and all of our families. I am so grateful and deeply appreciative of this incredible partnership that is truly groundbreaking and transformative, because we realize that the pathway to prosperity is through education. We realize that the gateway to the future is through education. And everything we do is about elevating the next generation of leaders, creating the access and opportunities that our young scholars need for a better tomorrow. I often say, if we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. And this program allows college preparations for our young scholars and our families. Many of us are first-generation college grads in our own families, because we realize that our future must be better than our parents. But as we continue to create footprints, our children's future needs to be better than ours. And that's what this program is all about. I'm so grateful because I actually am familiar with NYC Kids RISE while I was in the city council, and I do want to give credit to the Community School District 30 in Queens that really started this process and really created the blueprint and the vision and said our children need a college savings account. How can we help our families? Many of our families are working class, they're immigrant families, they could be undocumented. They don't have the access, they don't have the financial literacy, the financial empowerment, and the education to understand and get them to a place where they can start and begin saving for their children. And so in comes this program with the vision, with the great foundation, with John and Mindy, and with each and every one of you, with Councilmember Julie Menon, and so many that said, you know what, let's take this program to the next level. And that is what today is all about. So I know that our children will have a brighter future. As we realize what our purpose is in life, it is to make a difference. It is to give back. It is to create a legacy. It is to set footprints in history for others to follow. As many of us climb, we have to lift young people with us. In the 5 months that I've served as your Bronx Borough President, I've been so incredibly proud to encounter so so many young people that are on the pathway to college. But that's only because of the critical partners in our school, at the Department of Ed, that have really encouraged our young people. Initiatives like My Brother's Keeper and My Sister's Keeper that give our young people that access and opportunity. And as it has been said, level the playing field from an equity lens. Every child is gifted and talented and destined for success. All we have to do is open those doors of opportunity. And that's what New York City Kids RISE does. It opens the doors of opportunity for the next generation of leaders. And so I am proud as Borough President to say thank you. Every time I talk to young people and they tell me they're going to college and careers, CUNY, SUNY, HBCUs, I am so proud because they are the beacon of hope for a better tomorrow. We cannot lose sight. We cannot get distracted by what is important. Education is the game changer. It is the equalizer of prosperity. And so this collective partnership recognizes that, and every dollar, as the mayor said, yes, we need parents to buy into this program. Talk to your coworkers, your congregates at church, folks that you know in the neighborhood, and get everyone to buy in to this program. And I also emphasize the importance of financial literacy and education that goes along with this, because if you know better, you do better. And we have to make sure that the education is a critical part of this. So my gratitude to our mayor, Eric Adams, our school's chancellor, David Banks, our deputy mayor, Sheena Wright, Commissioner Sherman, so many, Deborah Ellen. Deborah Ellen hounded me in the New York City Council about this program, but she did it because she had a vision. And no matter what, the hurdles and struggles that we encountered have made us better public servants. To see this program, to see this collaboration through, so now let's take it to the next level. Let's create the access and opportunity across every school district in the city of New York. Congratulations to everyone on this incredible partnership, and I look forward to our continued work together for the future generation of leaders in our great city of New York. Thank you so much, everyone.
State Senator Jamal Bailey.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, thank you for not just investing in our children, but for doing it here in the Bronx. You know, often when you see things on the news about this borough, they are not necessarily reflected in the most positive manner, but we have the heart of a champion here in the borough. And our mayor and our deputy mayor understand that investment is necessary. So for those of us who are from the neighborhood, we know what this place was. This used to be the Baychester Diner. And this used to be a place where we used to be nourished. We used to eat and we used to have our bellies nourished. But Principal Gardner and Superintendent Vaughn, you are nourishing the minds of our young people, and that is way better than what that could have done. And I see Reverend Dr. Kendricks here, and he knows that we don't have coincidences. These things are what they're supposed to be. And to have a principal named Gardner, when we're supposed to be sowing the seeds of the next generation is not coincidental. But like any good gardener knows, every seed is not treated differently. The germination process of certain seeds are different, right? Some seeds require full sun. Some require a little bit of shade. Some require more water than others. But each and every day, our educators understand that our seeds need to be taken care of, and that does take a gardener to do. But let's keep it going with the metaphor, right? Any good gardener needs to make sure that the tools are given to them. So to the Gray family, to Councilmember Julie Menon, to New York City Kids RISE, you are these tools that will continue to germinate these seeds and make them grow beyond our wildest dreams. They often say they didn't know they were seeds because they tried to bury us. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we would grow to what we grew to. They didn't know that a kid from 6 blocks away would be the first attorney in his family. They didn't know that he would marry another attorney. So now our daughters, that's normalized. It is now normalized. My daughters have parents that are attorneys, and that's normal to them. That's normal to them. You know how amazing that is? That's normal. That's not something that we had growing up. That's why programs like this are so critically important to invest in our city. And we talk about how much does it cost. And, you know, we count money and we have budgets in the city and the state, but how much does it cost if we don't invest in our kids? How much does it cost if we don't invest in the future of our kids' educational system or our trade schools, Mr. Mayor, as you said, because there is no one true path to success. But the most important thing is to make sure that we understand that our kids are, in fact, our future. And I was almost late here because, as Cy Sperling once said, I'm not just a president, I'm a client. I'm a public school parent. I was dropping my kids off at PS 153. I'm a District 11 kid myself, PS 83, MS 181, on to Bronx Science, on to SUNY Albany, on to CUNY Law. I'm a public school kid, K through JD. So K through JD. So when you invest, it makes a difference. And I'm going to leave you with this, with a word called only. You know, you talked about it's only this, and 5 pennies is only a nickel, right? But 5 nickels is only a quarter. 4 quarters is only $1. $5 is only a $5 bill. 4 $5 bills are only a $20 bill. We're not talking only anymore. And 5 of those is only $100. We're not talking only anymore. Every cent matters. So I just want to say thank you to our mayor for continuing to invest, to our community members, our partners, and most importantly, our children. I'm looking forward to seeing the reaps of our investment grow bountifully. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have Assembly Member Michael Benedetto.
Wow, how do I follow? Well, I guess I don't. I'm not going to try. But this is a happy day. It really is. I came over a year ago, I went to Senator Bailey, and I said, you know, we have this idea. I thought it was an original idea. How stupid am I? And we sent a bill in Albany called the Baby Bonds Bill. And it basically says every baby born in the state of New York will be given $1,000 seed money to start a savings account. That's the same idea you guys are doing, Mr. Mayor. This is wonderful. This is great. Every year in Albany, I'm chairman of the Education Committee, and I get thousands, no, maybe I exaggerate, but I get an awful lot of curriculum bills. And one of the curriculum bills I always seem to get is financial literacy is not taught. This is the best kind of curriculum bill that you're doing here today, okay? I'm so happy about this. May it continue, may it blossom, may it grow with the money we have showered on New York, more money than we ever had in the state this year, and let it blossom in our children. Have a good day, everybody. That was good.
Our very own council member, Kevin Riley.
Principal Gardner, I just want to say Senator Bailey stole my reference of using you as a gardener. My metaphor, that's my brother though, so I'll give it to him. But being the last speaker, I hope I am, I think everyone said pretty much what I would have stated. I'm just going to talk as a parent. You guys saw my oldest daughter up here, Brooke, my youngest daughter, Kay, who's in daycare, and I'm expecting my baby boy in 2 months. So my first job is being a parent, and being a parent, you want to make sure that you're investing in your child. But sometimes you need help. Sometimes you don't know which direction to go as being a parent. That's why I started the organization, the Dad Gang, because us being fathers, we needed that guidance. This is a program that's really going to help our parents out within our community. I'm truly happy to be a part of this because financial literacy was something I spoke about during my campaign, that our schools need to be educating our students on financial literacy because we need to learn how to manage money within our communities. So this is a step. And I'm so happy to celebrate the first NYC Scholarship Month this month in Baychester Academy, where my daughter goes to school. This is a beautiful administration. And just want to shout out Assistant Principal Glenn, Ms. Arnold, Ms. Johnson, who have been amazing, amazing partners, and the rest of the administration that's here. Excuse me if I didn't announce you today. But you guys have been amazing, and we really, really look forward to what you bring to our community. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for coming here today. To my colleague, Councilmember Many, you're amazing. This idea was really, really amazing, and thank you for sharing this with the community. Thank you.
And now we're at the end of our program. I'm so happy to invite our students, our kindergarten students, our staff up so that we can take a photo together.
Topics, see if there's any off topics.
Does anyone have on topic?
Mr. Mayor, can I ask about COVID? I don't think we've asked you about it in the past week or so. Can you talk about what you've been hearing from your health officials? Are cases still going up? Are you moving any closer towards maybe reinstating any kind of COVID mandates or restrictions?
Normally I'm on the call 8:30 this morning with my health officials, but as you see, I'm here instead. When I get back in the car, I'm going to get updated on what the numbers look like. We continue to see a slow uptick, but the real indicator is that, number one, our testing is in place, take-home testing, and our hospitals and deaths, those numbers are really at a solid place. So there's no, we're going to be prepared and not panic. And so I'll be better able to brief you on if there's any major shift from what I had yesterday. We did not have a major shift. There's just a slow uptick. But New Yorkers are doing the right thing. They're testing themselves. If they find that they have COVID, they're staying home. And that is what the reason we have the most expansive home testing system than anywhere in the country. And as long as we keep doing the right thing, I'm pretty sure all of you know someone that has COVID, but they're staying home. They're not going into the subway system. They're not going to their office spaces. That is where our success is. That's what's normalizing this.
I have an on and an off. Should I just start with the on? So I know you were referencing fundraising, asking people for your bosses and the dry cleaner, the person giving you a pedicure. I know that the city allocated a certain amount to this. Would you foresee, if things continue to go well financially for the city, would you increase the amount of money that go in to New York City Kids RISE program, or understanding the funding mechanism, other opportunities for the bonus?
Yes, and yes, we're not leaving anything off the table in seeding a program like this. This is, as John Gray stated, this is the best return on our investment. And whatever way we could continue to expand, we're open to discussing. And we're also open to looking at other ways to get the communities engaged. The more that we have communities engaged, the more they're going to feel invested in our children. And so that's the real win here. The win here is having everyday people donate that $1, donate that 50 cents, donate that $3, and seeing how this money grows for these children. So it's not only the city's involvement, we really want to get the community engaged in the children of the community.
Would you ask, I know you got lots of rich friends like a Steve Cohen, maybe give more to this program? In addition to your
I'm going to, the young lady, her mother was here today, signing up, registering. I'm going to make my own donation. And I am going to encourage everyone I know. The beauty here is that you don't need rich friends. That's the joy here. You just need everyday people to say, you know what, instead of doing that night out at the movies, go to another place and stay home together, but take that $10 and go and donate it to a fund. They created this easy community engagement. That's the win here, that we don't have to go to just an affluent New Yorker. You could go to an everyday person. If you are an Uber driver, $1 of your tip today, can you donate it to one of these children? This is going to be an on-the-ground level. And then what happens, people are going to start thinking differently about the children of the city, because they're going to feel, I invested in that child in that school there. I think this is just an amazing concept and program.
I have an off-topic.
Yes, yes.
So there was a little bit about, in District 30 in Queens, the superintendent, Dr. Composito, he was allegedly fired by Chancellor David Banks. The elected officials in the area penned a letter asking for him to be returned. Parents, people are very upset about this. I wanted to talk to you. I know David Banks isn't here, but if you have any comment or response, you have someone who appears to be a beloved leader within a school district. I know that there's a lot of turnover and it's a new person running the Department of Education, but would you consider reinstating him, or have you spoke to Chancellor Banks about this removal of the superintendents across the city?
Well, first of all, I'm a big fan of Chancellor Banks. Everyone knows that. And he is reforming a school system that has been dysfunctional and that has been broken for so long. And one of the things he must do is he must put in place his generals that are going to be in charge of school districts to support principals like the principal here in this district. He has put in place a system that would do it in tiers, that is going to have involvement from parents and communities, and allow the superintendents to go in front of the communities to interview for a position. Of the system he put in place, he's taking the best 2 applicants, and he's allowing now the community stakeholders to sit down and interview them. I think the system he put in place is exactly what we call for parental involvement, for community engagement, and I think I'm in support of his system that he put in place. I put him there to do a job. He has an obligation to turn around our school system and support our teachers and parents and principals, and I'm in support. Whatever mechanism he put in place, that's my chancellor, and I support him.
In this instance, parents said they were not involved, the elected officials said they were not involved. It came as a real shock that Dr. Composito was fired. He said he wasn't a finalist after the interview process. So I know it's a very specific case, but I don't know, do you know how Chancellor Banks has been engaging parents and community people when it comes to the superintendent selection?
I'm blown away at how many CCs he attends, how many times he speaks with parents, how he looks at numbers of the districts, how well are they doing, how he gets the best product in front of the parents. Now, let's be clear that district, the number of students in that district is a large number. So if the number of parents who say they were not involved, of how many are saying they are going to be involved and will be involved in this next leg of the process. I think Chancellor Banks can do an excellent job of articulating what the process was, and I know the process is very much engaging for parents.
Can I just do one more?
Yes.
You talked yesterday about the Supreme Court ruling that might come down on gun rights. I wonder what you would say, people on the other side who are pro-gun rights, who say you have a lot of criminals on the street who have illegal guns, and having people legally carrying guns, for self-protection could actually make for a safer environment. What's the response to that argument from the other side?
Dumb. I mean, this is not Jesse James and the Sundance Kid who can draw the fastest. For those who are stating that if all the bad guys have guns, let's equal it out by having all the good guys have guns. That is just so dumb. You in a city where it's densely populated, in a city where we're dealing with some real emotional illnesses, and some of these shootings that we're seeing, people are in dispute because someone cut them off on the streets. People are in dispute because someone got them upset on the subway system. People are in dispute because of the silliest things. So now if everyone is packing, because now we're going to offset the bad guys that are carrying, or I hear people saying, well, young people are carrying because they feel afraid. We had an 11-year-old child yesterday caught with a gun in school. 11. How did he get that gun? And so I am saying, and I said it, and I'm going to continue to say, we better be very afraid if that Supreme Court ruling is passed down. If you are allowing people to carry guns, the good guys are no longer able to be distinguished from the bad guys, because if you have a bad day and you have a gun, that bad day can elevate to an argument. There's a tendency that people believe if they got a gun, why have it if I'm not using it? That's just the mindset of carrying a gun. We have to rid our streets of guns from good guys and bad guys so we don't have this violence. Thank you.